Okay, so you've got the ubiquitous fraction question here. You can really expect to see one of these in the exam. So you've got to know how to show something is true. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert these into vulgar fractions, that's top-heavy fractions. So 3 fours are 12, plus 2 is 14 over 3. Now if you don't know how to do that, I will write up the general way of doing that, but that's something you really need to know. Okay, so if you have some number plus some fraction, the denominator always stays as the denominator of the fraction. So c is always going to be c. You're going to do a times by c plus b. So 3 fours are 12, plus 2 is 14, is why we've got 14 over 3. Now for 3 and 4 fifths, we're going to do what? 5 threes are 15, plus the 4 is 19 over 5. And we've got to show that that equals 8 7/15. Well, we will convert 8 and 7/15 at the end of this section. But now let's focus on how do you add two fractions. So here's the general pathway. So a over b plus c over d is equal to, and we multiply the denominators, b times by d, and you're going to do ad plus bc. Now of course in geometry, doesn't it, ad means a times by d, and bc means b times by c. So let's just do that. So we've got to do bd in the denominator, that's 3 times by 5, and up top, the numerator, we've got 14 times by 5, plus because it says plus, and 3 times by 19. So we can do that. Now you could also use your calculator to check this. I'm not going to. 3 5 is 15. 3 times by 19, well 3 times by 20 is 60, so 390 must be 57. And 14 times by 5 is like 14 times by 10 and a half, so that's 70. Add them together, we get 127 out of 15. Now how many 15s go into 127? Well, I think it goes in 8 times, remainder 7. But I'm going to check on my calculator. So we've got 127 divided by 15 does indeed go 8 times. Okay, and the remainder will be 7 because 15 goes into 120. But of course it's not enough. I haven't shown it yet, so I've got to show that 8 and 7/15 is the same thing as 127 over 15. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do the right hand side of this question. So what's 8 and 7/15? Well, 15 times by 8 is going to be 120, and 120 plus 7 is 127. So yes, I think I've shown it now. Let's check. 120, yeah, plus 7, yeah. So 127 out of 15, so I've shown that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. I'm pretty happy I've answered that question sufficiently. So the mark scheme, do pause and have a read. It's amazing how people get this one wrong. Okay, doesn't need to be you though. Okay, and there we go, 127 over 15. Many ways of doing this question, but we've shown the left-hand side was equal to the right-hand side.